There is no tunnel that justifies shooting toddlers in the head. Israeli snipers.
Does this guy not know how sniping jobs work? Like, the problem with sniping isn't, like, the accuracy is not because obviously you got your scope and the fucking, like, yeah, it's quite easy, you can accurately snipe, but targets and personnel move really, really fast when you're sniping. Like, snipers make their decisions in less than a split second in combat situations. Yeah, so you're saying a commander did it, but a commander obviously is not particularly high up in the chain of command.
I support the release of thousands of Palestinian detainees being raped and tortured and children.
It's because you know that getting a nuclear power to abolish itself is not going to happen.
Are you aware that's literally happened?
How?
The USSR.
Okay.
South Africa.
Right.
Like, did you think that was a gotcha?
But I don't think that's Israeli policy, is to snipe kids for no reason. To snipe toddlers. But okay. Yeah, IDF soldiers shoot each other as well, yeah. Like, IDF snipers kill their own soldiers. Do they do that intentionally? Is that just like... Is that because Zionists are so anti-Semitic that they... I don't even know what the argument is there. Let's assume that every case that Mehdi put forward was true. When he talks about particular incidents, like the WCK bombing, or the person who was... the child who was shot while they were in a car, or like all this kind of stuff. So if they're talking about that, then it's kind of like saying that doesn't really... You could just argue none of that actually says whether or not the broad military campaign is justified or not. You understand that, right? It's kind of like saying, oh, like if someone said about how the Allies were justified to go to war in World War II, and someone responded with, what, you think it's justified? You think the raping of women in Berlin by the Soviets was justified? You think the firebombing of Dresden and the firestorms caused by it was justified? You think 25,000 people being incinerated alive in a firestorm in a city turned into an inferno where there weren't any military targets was justified? You think the bombing of Hamburg was justified, where they just firebombed indiscriminately at the entire civilian population? You think that was justified? You think going in at night where you can't see where your targets are, you think that's justified? Like, you could actually just do this for probably like... You could probably give a screed like that lasts like an hour and say, well, okay, we're not really answering the question. We're talking about excesses, and we're talking about things that happen in every single war. No matter how just the war, atrocities will happen. You understand that? You know what Dresden was, right? Where they targeted like a civilian city? Where they were like, yeah, if we terrorize the civilian population, if we fuck them up, that'll make them closer to surrendering. Where you drop fucking like one round of bombs to open holes in the buildings, and then another round of incendiaries to set the city on fire and create a fucking firestorm that takes out fucking 25,000 people in 2 days. Interesting.